Welcome back to the Kyle Sutherland Show. Thank you guys for being here today. Really appreciate it. Today is July 5th. It is 5:39 p.m. as we're recording this. I hope everyone had a fantastic 4th of July weekend. 4th of July, extremely underrated holiday. Hot take maybe, but I very much think the 4th of July is one of the better holidays that we do have. It's up there with Thanksgiving. There's not a ton of pressure. It's not like New Year's Eve where you gotta do something. It's not like Christmas where you're hanging out with your family from sun up to sunrise. It's not like Easter where you maybe have to go to religious services. The 4th of July, you can kind of do whatever you want with it. If you want to sit and be inside all day and watch movies, cool. That's the 4th of July for you. There's a bunch of 4th of July movies. If you want to go to a cookout, awesome. If you want to go play golf, awesome. If you want to go to the pool, awesome. There's like nothing you have to do for 4th of July. So, hot take, I love the 4th of July. I hope everyone that is listening to this is all watchers, listeners. I hope everyone had a great 4th of July. Hopefully you guys ate a bunch of hot dogs and hamburgers. I, myself, if you guys can't tell, am a big hot dog guy. So had multiple hot dogs and burgers. Shout out Mitch. You guys saw Mitch on the program before. Chef Mitch whipped up a couple burgers. The boys kind of sat around, drank some brouhahas, while Chef Mitch cooked up some brats, some burgers, some hot dogs, and we just ate for like 7 straight hours. So happy 4th of July. We have a lot of sports that happen this weekend, so we'll get into that. And then I'm gonna go. We'll go golf. We'll go through John Deere Classic. We'll do fully John Deere Classic. Then we go off. We are on the plane off to Scotland next weekend, people. We get ready for the Genesis Scottish Open next week. Get ready for some early golf next week. It's gonna get on. So we're gonna have to adjust our sleep schedules to be Scottish next week. So get ready for that. We will talk about F1 at Silverstone. We had a great race this weekend, so good one there to watch. Some interesting things to talk about. Ferrari back on top. We will also get into USA Soccer. Got the match Monday night as you're watching this tonight. Get ready for USA Soccer. And then we also have... What else do we have? Oh, we got our Crumb Bum of the week, which will be interesting. And then later, time traveling. It's only 5:45 right now, so I'm not recording this. I will come back and record this later tonight. We will be talking through episode 3 of House of the Dragon, so we'll see how that's going. So, excited for there. Let's have a good show. But first, you guys know what time it is. I forgot to do this last week. Hit my music. Alright. Before we get back to the podcast, shout out to Golf on NET. If you're anything like me and you want to play more golf, but your wallet has other ideas, Golf on NET gives you the access to participating courses in your area for one flat annual rate, which means more rounds and fewer excuses. The way I look at it, if you're already spending money on golf balls, hot dogs, and that new club you definitely don't need, you might as well play more golf this season. Check out my friends at Golf and NET and start playing more golf this season. Enough silly time. Get serious, Kyle. This is a podcast. This is a podcast, Kyle. This is a serious podcast. We're serious on this show. This is anything but serious. We are welcome to full-time. We're at full-time silly hours. Congratulations, Chris Gotterup. We'll start at the John Deere Classic. Congratulations to Mr. Gotterup on a very good win. Kind of a little come from behind win today. Did not 9 under on the day to kind of come from behind. Lucas Glover and Lee Hodges kind of teed off at the lead. Looked like they had a good chance going into the day. Both really just had kind of on days, 268s. Both of them kind of just dropped 2 positions because people caught them. There was enough birdies on the back. They just did not. They kind of sailed at home, and multiple people kind of jumped them. And 2 of them, what I would say classify as Kyle's guys. And that sounds bad. Birdie to bogey fellas. Maybe birdie to bogey fellas. Chris Gotterup and Max Homa. Been a big fan of Max for a long time. I would say no, he's one of the top of the list golfers. So he was close to the day. Finished for not even tie second, just regular second. Shot a 64 on the day, 7 under. Absolutely lit up the back nine for 31. Birdie 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 17 on the back nine. So Max Homa, good day with his best showing since the Masters. But the win goes to Chris Gotterup, which if you guys did not see the tournament this week, because I would not imagine that everyone's watching golf this week, I imagine this is a week for us sickos. Chris Gotterup had his caddy was somewhere. I don't know where his caddy was. That's for more well-educated shows. His caddy was somewhere, but his brother was on the bag with him this week, okay? So his brother is on the bag this week, and they talked about it. He ends up obviously playing lights out today. Talked about how he was just in a good headspace with his brother and some friends this week at the house, and they were kind of just chilling. Obviously, some bad weather this week, so wasn't able to in the Illinois area. We're not able to do it. Had a couple delays, and that's exactly what I would imagine what you want of your brother, just kind of keeping you loose in the bag. He made a joke at the end that his brother would take PTO all week, which is quite funny. Someone taking PTO to win millions of dollars. No, he's not going to win millions, but he will get a nice, hefty check, I would imagine, for his efforts today. Very cool to see the whole family vibe. Chris was very emotional talking about how his family was watching, how everyone at the house and everyone kind of back in New Jersey was kind of really rooting for them. Obviously, every week, but especially when your brother's on the bag, kind of at a special week for you. Very cool to see that tie-in. He kind of posted, which is always a fun way, he posted a score. Shot 9 under on the day, right? Posted a 62 in the day. And then kind of came in and had a little bit to go. He was not in the final group. He was in the third back to group, and then he kind of was waiting. So he ended up waiting for a couple hours. Not a couple hours. I think he waited for about 45 minutes between as everyone else was finishing, and ended up in a very peculiar situation. One of those great situations where you win on the range. Usually you love to see someone put the final putt in, and then when their family runs off to them, everyone gives them a hug. Sneaky fun way to win, I think, also is winning on the range. It's a much different element to winning a golf major, right? You're getting off, but like as you're sitting there, a little more secluded. It's obviously they just go to you and the caddy. Seems like guys get. I'm gonna say this off the cup. It seems guys get a little bit more emotional on the range. They're still in it. They think they have to go from a playoff, and then like boom, it's like okay, good. We're good. We won this, Thinking hopefully you did enough. Thinking hopefully he makes a birdie right here. What he was not Lucas Glover and Max Homa. He was Ben Cowles. And Ben put one in the water in 18. Kind of there, had to go make an aggressive putt to make his par. Did not make that, and then ended up doubling it. He got a little too aggressive, which can't blame the guy. Congratulations, though, to Chris Gotterup. He is his 3rd win on the tour this year, so Chris continues a great. Chris was one of my early picks to get a major this year. I don't hate Chris knocking off maybe an Open. I think I picked Scotty, Cam Young, and Chris Gotterup to win majors this year. There's one major left, and none of the 3 of them have won a major this year, so we're in a little bit of a precarious situation where hopefully we'll go 1 for 3 and not 0 for 3. 33% sounds a lot better than 0%. But we're gonna give it a go. Oh god, this shirt makes me look fat, you guys. I feel like, I am fat, but this shirt makes me look extra fat. Looks like a fucking drape cloth over me. Whatever. Yeah, I have podcasting, dude. I don't have time to worry about how I look, and there's stuff to do. Ben Coles, whatever the fuck his name. 3 under today, definitely did not do. He is a Corn Ferry kind of just at that line member, got in because he was in that Aeon Swing 5 and was at number 6. Or he's in that next 10. He's was number 6, so he got in this week. Made the most of it, but it does not really, I think, go up more in the rankings for that. Now I think he has to take it the next time he's eligible. He's not allowed to do it. It's just a whole stupid thing. Luckily, that's what they obviously announced at the PGA Tour. We want to get into that. Let's just talk anything else before we get into the tour stuff. Great day by Homa, tough day by Lucas Glover. Just was not able to get anything going in the day, and seems like he was playing defense. Shot well earlier in the week, and then was just not able 200 their day, but was just not able to get anything to drop today. Anyone else we want to talk about? Keegan had a good day to finish 7 under. Top 26 from Keegan Bradley. How other guys did? Obviously an off week. Good week by Zach Johnson, top 10 at home, kind of home course, Mr. Iowa boy. 16 top 10 or top 15 from Blades Brown, the young man. We talked about him with the Masters. Blades is on the Corn Ferry Tour right now and got in this tournament. Made the most of it, top 15. We will definitely be seeing more Blades Brown as he continues on. Same thing with amateur that was in the field this week that got an exemption. Preston Stout, amateur that got in the field, ended up tying top 15, 14 under. Great week by him. He will take that going into it, tied with Ricky for top 15. Bridgman, good week by Bridgman. After he's had a couple tough starts. Bad U.S. Open showing. Good week by Joel Damon. Top 40, top 50 at least. Making the cut at least. He's been struggling. These guys we can't start playing good, but now who missed the cut? Who can we make fun of? Neil Shipley continues to struggle. Before we get into more of the golf, thank you to one of my partners over at Vice Golf. Look, we're not tour players. We're hitting trees, cart paths, and maybe the fairway. This is why I play Vice Golf. Premium performance without paying premium prices every time I donate a ball to the woods. If you need to stock up this season, head over to Vice Golf and use code KYLE, KYLE, at checkout to save money on your order. So we also talked about Jackson Covian. Would be his first start of the tournament, and we picked him to do well this week. We picked him, I think, top 10. Missed a cut. Not a great week by him. Did not look like he looked a little nervy. First round 73. Got together. Second round 70. Finished 1 over. But he is going home. That was not nearly good enough. Tough first showing by him. But I'm sure he learned a lot and got a lot of nerves under his belt. So tough week. But good week on the tour. Obviously, I was hoping to go to this week and ended up not working out totally with the schedule and getting out to TPC Deer Run. That's a little over 3 hours to get there. So, was going to be a tough drive for the day. Hope to get out, especially with Medina coming up in the next couple months here. Hoping to get out there, and we will hopefully have some type of live coverage for you guys from a birdie to bogey tournament. But due to really finances, we were not able to get out to the John Deere classes this week. So if you guys know sponsors, if anyone has a sponsor out there that wants to sponsor Kyle going to golf tournaments to do coverage, let me know. Shout out. Hit me up. hit me up in the DM comments like I'm a hot chick, Don't get a lot of those either, so it would be a first, sponsors or hot chicks. So both either would be nice. Honestly, I prefer a sponsor at this time. If you're a hot chick and you're a sponsor and you're saying, oh, damn, he's asking for sponsors, but hot chicks, I'm sorry. I need a sponsor. I'm sorry. Keep watching golf. I'll maybe you can talk to me eventually. Picks for this week. We go off. First, hold on. Anything else we want to talk about? Gotterup joins the list of 5-time winners. Chris Gotterup wins for his 5th time in the year. Kind of joins a much better crew of winners as a recent of Wyndham Clark, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Gary Woodland, all 5-time winners on the tour right now. A much better company and kind of getting up there in terms of current players on the tour that have definitely done their best at winning. That is not, I would imagine, the last of Chris Gotterup's win. He is playing some tremendous golf. And I would like to say we are early on the Gotterup train. I like him. The kid from New Jersey kid, can play some golf. Great day by him. Picks of the week. I should have picked him to do better. We picked Ben Griffin. Finished T21. Not great by him. Ben Griffin, Chris Gotterup, top 25 or top 5 pick. Boom. There you guys go. There's a winner. Plus 295. That's a little kids cash in the pocket for anyone that took that one. Unless you guys were on YouTube and the podcast didn't get uploaded. So apologies, you didn't see that. So you did not get the 295 winner. Jackson Covian, top 10. So maybe if you good thing if you're on YouTube and you're going to take that pick, because that pick lost. So it's better that Gotterup won. So good job, Kyle. And then top 20, Cashmere, Keith Mitchell, finished T51. So 1-3 again. We seem like that's what we are as our common, is our 1-3 record. That brings us to an abysmal 37% win percentage on the field on the season. So pathetic, I know. And you don't have to put it in me in the comments because it makes me angry enough on my own. So you can go ahead and comment how angry and how stupid I am at making picks, but just know that I have to fill this fucking document out, okay? I have to have this fucking document on my laptop, okay? You guys, you suck at picking golf. I know, okay? I'm the one that wrote the formula to say how much I suck at picking golf picks, okay? So don't give me the whole banana hammock rundown bullshit of saying I suck, because I know I suck, okay? I'm aware that I suck. I'm painfully aware that I suck at picks right now. Having to look at that percentage and seeing this stupid formula and seeing this stupid Excel document that's just like this little stupid thing laughing in the corner like, oh, you suck at picks. Oh. I gotta sit there and look at it every fucking day. It pisses me off, okay? So, no, if anyone wants to get better at this, it's me. It's not you, it's me, okay? Remember that. It's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me, okay? Because we have, we don't have to get better, honestly. Really, nothing's going to, if we're truthful, honest with ourselves, nothing's going to happen if we continue to suck at picks. But I want to be rich. If we're going to be truthful with ourselves again, the budget has even decreased further. So we've talked about how we were doing $2 bets. A loaf of bread's $1.45. I don't know if I can sacrifice a loaf of bread at this rate. I probably need to. I should probably just go on a forced hunger strike to lose weight. Would not be the worst idea. But I'm poor. I'm poor. I'm super poor. I'm gonna get food stamps poor. The podcast we do. Podcast we continue. So some of these bets are not being made right now. Okay, I'm gonna say hand up. That's on me. If I'm giving you guys picks, I should be gambling them. I fully understand that, and that makes me upset. Okay, I know that I should be doing that. Okay, but the electricity's got to get paid right now. Okay, once I have just a smidge of money, I promise I will gamble it. It's what I do best, gamble. Let's go to Scotland. One of the things I think they talked about on the let's off to Scotland we go. They mentioned on the broadcast that every year that the TPC Deere Run has a chartered flight from Silverstone, Illinois, right to Scotland for the Genesis Scotland Open. Very cool. Imagine there's just that flight from Silvis is probably flying slightly over Kyle's head in the next 30 minutes. The boys, hello, gentlemen, are flying over to Scotland as they pass over Chicago. And maybe they don't go this route, but fuck you if you're going to figure that out and you know that. But we are off to Scotland first. We're kind of off to non-American tournament of the year in combination with the DP World Tour this is put on. This is kind of really the final tune-up. We obviously talked about how the Travelers was more of a final tune-up before the Master, or was before the Open. But a lot of guys do play this one, even though this is not an elevated event. This is a very, very good field we're going to have next week. This is a major level field we have for the Genesis Scottish Open next week. So get ready. If you're going to watch any of the other tournaments besides the 5 majors, the Players is a major. I'll have that debate with you, especially how shitty we have some of the setups for some other golf courses. The Players delivers 10 times out of 10. We have a great field coming in next week. Being a DP World Tour event, we have some of the live guys. We have Jonathan Rahm in the field next week. We also have Tyrrell Hatton in the field next week. We have Patrick Reed in the field next week. So it should be a very fun event. Like I said, is the last test before Royal Birkdale in a couple weeks. I think it's Royal Birkdale. Was that last year? I don't know. And it kind of is the where you're going to see a lot of guys understand the European weather, right? Some of these guys are a little newer. Some of these guys obviously are the Scotties and the Rorys are very used to this. But it's a different style of golf. You're not playing on soft greens like you were. A lot of times, they've heard in coverage last year, they talked about how the difference of European and American golf is that European golf tries to test you in the fairways, while American golf tries to test you on the greens. So the European golf has a lot of pop bunkers, has a lot of high fairways, it has a lot of undulated lies. We're not going to be able to have a nice stand on it. Well, that's a little bit different in America, right? You're usually, if you hit in the fairway, in the middle of the fairway, you're going to have a very open shot. You're going to have a usually pretty clean lie. You're not going to have a ton of little pop bunkers everywhere, right? There's usually bunkers lined the hole, but you kind of know where those carry numbers are and know kind of where, hey, this is a lined hole. You maybe keep it on the left side here. A little different, right? So how do some of these guys go? Obviously ball striking is what is going to matter. If they know the best ball striker is going to win, right? Usually that's how it goes, unless he's putting like shit. And that's kind of what Scotty, right? He's the best ball striker in the world right now, but he cannot putt for a fucking rat's ass. Does Scotty kind of, we see him a little bit more of a test in the fairways, get a little easier greens? Do we see Scotty get a little easier? Do we see John Rahm have a little bit more fire coming out playing some European greens where he's a little bit more used to, having played a lot more of the live events outside of America this year? Very interesting week. I think the major X factor at the Renaissance Club for the Scottish Open is the weather. I mean, yeah, sometimes you'll turn it on and they're full head to toe in rain gear and umbrellas, and it's blowing 45 miles per hour and raining sideways, and they're still playing golf. Sometimes we get super calm conditions, and it is a birdie fest. It is obviously right on the coast of Scotland, so it is completely up to the weather. So I have not looked and seen what the weather is for this week, but depending how the weather goes for this week is determinant on how we're going to go. So that is how I'm going about it. Is for my picks also is ball striking. Who is the best from the tee to the middle of the green, and from the middle of the fairway to the green, right? Who is that best off the tee, and who is that best approach play ball striker? Because once we get putting, the field theoretically should have more come to average with a best putter. Should be putting semi-good this week. So Sam Burns is not going to be able to kind of do a U.S. Open where he's going to be putting so much better and making his name for himself just on the greens without having a great ball striking. So winner for this week, Collin Morikawa. I think I love Collin. Last time we saw Collin in the Open, he just about chased him down. No, we saw Collin at the Travelers. I don't remember how he did. Was doing okay. We saw Collin at the Open chasing him down. Was not just close enough. We saw Scotty at the Travelers, right? Scotty and Sam Burns, Scotty and Victor Hovland obviously got into a playoff. Scotty's last time playing golf was a lost playoff. How does Scotty respond? I think he responds well. Being such a great ball striker, I love him this week. I think Scotty a top 5. Coming off then a win, I think right off to as a defending champion, I think we see a great week by Chris Gotterup. I don't think he gets it done. I think they're just coming off a victory back-to-back weeks. Might be a little much, but I expect him to be right up there. And a little more of, not a long shot, but how a long shot in terms of how I've talked about him as a recent Jonathan Rahm. John Rahm has been playing some terrible golf as of recently. Has not made a whole lot of cuts at the majors. I know he's playing great in his exhibition events at LIV, but I don't give that doesn't count in my eyes. So how does John Rahm look this week with the usual field at a true test of golf? I'm very, very interested to see how that's going to kind of go. I do think John kind of delivers. I think John is not someone that likes to be counted out, and he's currently being counted out by a lot of the golf media, including myself. I like John Rahm really approaching this week with some fire, and at least nudging out a top 20, if not even better. So that's my 2 make the cut pick also. You parlay those 4 guys together, Collin, Scotty, Chris Gotterup, and John Rahm, and that is my 2 make the cut parlay also. So that's what we're going to do right now for this week. We had 40 minutes, I bet. Man, only 28 minutes. Wow, we were a little quick this week on golf. Interesting, Kyle. Usually I talk about 10 minutes longer on golf. I'm getting quicker. I'm not talking as much. Moving on. We did that one. Want to thank one of the partners of today's video, X Golf Libertyville. Whether the weather stinks, it's dark after work, or you're just looking for a place to settle the score with your buddies, X Golf Libertyville has you covered. You can play world-class courses, dial in your numbers, grab a drink, and keep the golf season going all year long. If you're in the area, check out X Golf Libertyville and tell them Birdie or Bogey sent you. Now, back to making questionable takes on golf. No news on LIV this week, so I think we won't nothing to touch there. It's been a couple of weeks since we've had any news drop. I said last week I'm expecting something. I've heard some rumblings, but nothing to kind of go official on, and nothing to kind of even really talk about because it's really just Reddit things. So we'll see. But we will. So moving on to F1. This was the Grand Prix, or at Silverstone. Finding out how iconic this was kind of crazy this week. I think watching the race this morning, it said there was 564,000 people at the race today. Think about that. Let me say that one more time. 564,000 people watching the race today in Great Britain. I mean, that's more or less Britain. It closed down for the day to go watch the cars go vroom vroom. Very, very interesting how that was. I think they said the largest F1 race of all time. There is so much history at Silverstone that I can't even really comprehend. I don't even know, so I should not even pretend like I know all the history at Silverstone and pretend like I know how big a race it was. I definitely picked up at some of the context clues on the coverage today. They dropped some of the same lines that seems like they dropped with the Masters, where they were like, for you that haven't watched this season, for you that are just coming and tuning in, and it's like, oh, so I guess is Silverstone kind of one of those races that people really watch of maybe, hey, I'm into F1, but I'm not addicted. I don't watch every race of F1. I don't have a stupid podcast like you wouldn't have to, and use it as a thing to talk about on your podcast every week. I don't know. If you do know that about F1, please hit me up and put in the comments if that is true. It kind of did seem like that. This is obviously I've watched 10 races obviously this year. Have not knew that Silverstone is historic, but don't know if it's that level of, hey, I never watched, but I watched July. Well, I guess it's not really July 4th. People don't give a shit outside the USA. I don't watch besides that, so I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Overall, congratulations to Charles Leclerc. Leclerc. Great win by him. I mean, obviously got off to just, if you watched, just an electric start. Absolutely zoomed right away. Him and Lewis just rocket ships off that line. I think we talked about that for a couple weeks now, that those Ferrari cars come off that line like a fucking Mario Kart. And they've through some upgrades have just got fast. So the straight line speed has caught up to some of their corner speed, and they got a good car. First win by Charles Leclerc since 2023. Great for him. And Ferrari's really making their way against Mercedes in these last couple of weeks. Well, we saw an absolute dominating stretch by Kimi, winning 5 straight races. We have a little difference now with Lewis winning 2 races ago, George winning last race, but Ferrari was right there. And I guess they didn't finish. They were not as great. And then Charles this week. So 2 of the last 3 weeks we've had a win by a Ferrari car. So they're definitely making their way up the Constructors' Cup. It kind of ended in a dumb way, to be honest. I'm gonna rant a little bit. Let me make sure the mic's working totally perfectly fine, because it was kind of stupid how it ended. It ends in a virtual it ends with the safety car. Max crashes with a couple laps to go, and essentially it ends on a safety car. And the announcers hyped it up like, hey, we're gonna get 1 lap to go. George Russell saw, old tires. Lewis is new tires. He's going to have probably an easy pass. How much does George Russell drop? Does Lando make a podium? And then they just kept the safety car on. What the F is this? So they just made the safety car go on the entire time. And we finished the last 2.5, 3 laps under a safety car, and it ends the race. That sucked. That was a boring way. It's like, we'll just make him pit, make him go back and pit, and make him restart and do the new 3 more laps. Why do we have to do this stupid safety car laps? And to end a race like that, how stupid. I did not like that. Was not a fan of that. Whoever the FIFA, not FIFA, F1, FIFA, maybe is that the regulation? Yeah, we'll call it that. Bad decision. Stupid decision. You guys are corrupt. You wanted to give George Russell second place, and you knew that his car sucked, and he was going to get overtaken quickly by Kimi and quickly by Lando, and you finished in fourth. So you threw the safety car out there for one more lap to get the hometown kid a podium at Silverstone. I'm on to you guys. First reported here on the Birdie or Bogey show, the Kyle Sutherland show on the Birdie or Bogey network. Get ready, people, because we are breaking stories here. So it kind of ends it done with the safety car. Hamilton obviously gets screwed and kind of looks like he's pissed. They go to the cooling room and with the champagne everyone watching, he kind of like tells the cameraman to sit down, it looked like, and told him like he's not sitting. He kind of looked like he left. Did not look like he was very happy. Did not watch any interviews or not watch anything else with it today, but did not look like he was very happy. He would have overtaken George Russell very easily without that safety car. And then gritty race by Lando to finish fourth. He would have been, he was right there, and I don't know how, depending on how bad George's tires were on that last lap, would have had a couple chances to go overtake for a podium finish. Good by him. Oscar had an early engine trouble or early some engine or some sensor or something happened, and was not able to really end up making that much anything. Kimi was doing well. And really, honestly, around maybe lap 40, so 45 or something, he was making a strong push. He was gaining time on Charles. He looked like he was going to get right about to that second mark, and to kind of have overtake mode go active, and then seemed like it was a car trouble. Something happened on maybe one of the bumps of the turn, broke one of the sensors of his car, and then just did not have pace the rest of the day. So I do not know what happened to his car or the overall issue was, because I guess they kept saying there was nothing wrong, and he kept saying that it won't steer, it won't turn. Obviously, he's driving it, so he kind of knows what's going on with the car, and kind of was trying to just to really get a point, and was fighting to have just a point at one point, and then kind of doesn't really even drops, I think, back to 14 for the day. So not Kimi's best finish of the season whatsoever. George Russell, first podium at Silverstone, would have obviously would have been contention if we raced that last lap. He has old tires, and everyone behind him I think had some newer tires. Very interesting. I think bummer of the day was Verstappen, that was having a very good race, had a podium, looked like he was going to have his back-to-back podiums, and with Kimi, and this is after Kimi, so I think it was lap 48-ish, had the podium, and then just, I don't know, either locked up or something, the high-speed corner kind of just went right into the thing and crashed the other day. He was pissed. I think interview, he swore. I think he had another thing that he's going to have a sore. I think the writing is for sure on the wall. You heard it here first. Max will be done at Red Bull. He is having so many car issues. He's had multiple car issues at the start of the race. He's had car issues at the start of the lockups. He is out of there. And with how Oscar's racing, I think we're going to have a Lando Max Verstappen reunion. They have been friends for a long time. I think we're having a reunion for the boys, and we're going to have Max Verstappen as a McLaren race car driver, is my thought. Charles Leclerc, his first win since 2024. I think I said 2023 earlier, so correction on that. So good for him. He obviously has not had a win in a couple of years, so was very happy with his interview after. He obviously would have preferred to win under a more normal circumstance with how it finishes rather than how it did. Ended up in the way that it ended up in the way that it did not probably was not the most as exciting, but still Lewis got third place, got a podium. like we talked about, I think would have been an easy second if it was not for that. Cadillac, that's kind of all the drivers I think I like to talk about. Cadillac, not a great. 16 and 17, they had a very cool livery for their race. Livery, I don't know how you say that, for their race, but I saw that on Twitter. That was very cool. And then nothing major for the regulations. We'll talk about next week maybe if I see anything on Twitter, because I don't super know. I got to watch Twitter videos for that because I'm stupid. So we'll see about that. Betting, we're not doing super great again, but it is, I keep picking Kimmy and he keeps losing, and then when I don't pick Kimmy, he wins. So I think I won't pick Kimmy and he'll win again next week or 2 weeks. We are off next week. No racing next week. We had Kimmy P1 loss, Lando podium, would have been loss, and then we had Hamilton top 10. That was an easy win. So again, 1 for 2. I'm great at telling you who's going to be in the top 10 for a race. I'm fantastic. I've lost one time this year. I'm 90%. I'm pretty good at telling you who's going to finish on the podium. 7 of 10. I'm not so good at telling you who's going to win a race. I've only done that twice. So we're getting better at some F1 stuff, but we're not great at it yet. We will get better, okay, people? But also we may not. So get ready. We are off next week, so no race preview. We will race preview next week, and I think we are out to Belgium. We are out to Belgium next week for that. So we'll see. We'll see how that looks. Congratulations to Charles. Cubbies go to 50 and 10. Took one of 3 from one today. Ended up taking 1 of 3 from the Cardinals. 2 tough losses with the Cardinals. They put up 17 runs on us on Friday, and then we really did not look great. They played yesterday, and then just a 3-0, just really get no offense going. After having scored 23 runs on Wednesday, we got our fucking doors blown off in the next 2 games. It's like, boys, let's not hit so fucking much one day, and, so. Good week with a bad weekend. Swept the Padres also, so scored 23 runs in one of the games. Overall, we are now 10 games over 500, like I said. Second place in the NL Central. Took 2 or 3 from the Brewers, which obviously are in first place, which very much helps move it up a little bit. The boys are playing much better, so we got to keep kind of this streak going. We are keep winning series. Obviously, lost versus the Cardinals, but I think at this point we just got to keep winning series. We would love another 10 game win streak like we had earlier in the year. That would very much help. But I do not see that happening right now. We're hitting much better, though. So, PCA leading the team in home runs, 19. Dansby's having a hell of a week. Had 5 home runs in like a game and a half, essentially. Or 2 games, I don't know. I think it was like 8 innings, though, actually. It was like a baseball had 5 home runs. So, Dansby is absolutely smoking hot right now. He is someone that, if he's playing well, can definitely put his team on his back offensively. And so would love to see Dansby kind of go there and be the guy that just is mashing home runs and mashing RBIs all the way around the field. That would do a lot for us. So we shall see. Same thing with PCA. PCA is definitely looks like he's heating up. Also, we talked about that last week a little bit. He is hitting the ball over the field. That's when PCA is the best, right? Just doubles. He is turning what some people turn into singles. He's turning into a double. But overall, good week for the Cubs, and we shall talk more about that in the coming. And talk soccer a little bit. Talk football. The European football. So USA won their round of 32 game versus Bosnia. That was, I think, Thursday. Thursday night. That was Wednesday night. That was Wednesday night. This is Sunday. That was Wednesday night. They won their round of 32 versus Bosnia. Bad red card they were given for stepping on the foot, and then it was reversed today by I think his name is Balogun. Was reversed in him today. I think that was going to be that will be a big storyline if we go on to win. People are going to be pissed about that coming on, because I think that's what I think a lot of people say is some of our best player. And what do we see with him as he goes on? If he scores 2 goals, people are going to be furious at that, and I love it. So, congratulations. I think our elusive president has made a call in there, I would imagine, to the head of FIFA and made sure that we have corrected this egregious mistake against our country. Not my words, against people on Twitter have said that, but we'll take it. So we will take it. And it's been a lot of close games. So we saw Germany losing, England almost lost, Brazil almost lost the first game, then ended up getting eliminated just an hour ago to Norway, and the Holland Rowe guy is pretty good. He will be someone to play against. And then tonight we are see England versus Mexico. It kicks off in half an hour. But we'll see how that goes. I'll probably be able to do a slight update after that game also, as I talk House of Dragon later tonight too. So I will give you guys of how that game went in an hour or 2 hours or so once that is done, when I come back up here to talk House of Dragon. Unless I forget, which is always a possibility. Crumb Bum of the week. Oh, I need to think a drink of Diet Coke first. I don't know how much was lost on the microphone. I just was cut out again. I promised I'd get a better microphone, but I didn't yet. So I don't know how much I got lost. So apologies if anything was bad on there. And I had to use the other audio from the other camera. Apologies on that. Where we're at is the Crumb Bum of the week. Okay, who is that Crumb Bum? You know. Crumb Bum is there. There's a lot of Crumb Bums this week, okay? And it's people that don't like fireworks. You people out there, and I know some of you sickos are watching. You people that say fireworks are stupid. Who likes fireworks? You guys are Crumb Bums, okay? Fireworks are awesome, and I saw multiple people last night at the fireworks walking away. Now it was a little foggy. But people like, I gotta go to the car. Hey, turn around, there's fireworks on, okay? Fireworks are awesome. They are a low-level form of entertainment. There's not a lot of low-level entertainments. Now, they're costly, but it's something that happens a couple times a year. There's not a lot. We don't say we don't get fireworks every fucking weekend. There is something very just nostalgic about fireworks. There's something so cool about how it's at a whole fair, it's at a whole park, it's people playing, people doing all this shit, and once that explodes in the air, man, everyone quiets down. Things get a lot quieter super quickly with people watching and enjoying fireworks. I'm telling you, something hits different. It's something that it feels the nostalgic. It feels like when you're watching The Sandlot and they're playing baseball. That's what I get, that feeling I get when we get fireworks. It's the same way someone enjoyed in the 1950s. We are enjoying something very similar to it. Something they enjoyed in the Chinese or the Ming Dynasty, I think, invented fireworks. Someone fact checked me on that. I think it was 1601. That's completely off the cuff, if I'm guessing. But fireworks are very, very old school, and they wowed people back then, and they still wow people today. Fireworks are my awesome of the weekend. Makes always for a ton ton of fun, low-level fun. It brings a little smile to my face watching things explode in the sky. I can't tell you why, but it is something that's super fun. And if you guys don't like it, you're a Crumb Bum. So I'm sorry. I don't decide. There's a panel. I bring this before a panel of judges, and they decide. So if you are a hater, let's argue in the comments. Feel free to reach out, tell me, and we can do a lot of arguing in the comments about this, and we shall see what does happen. All right, so I think we're on to House of Dragon. I think that is all we have left. You look at everything here. This might be an episode, people. We've talked golf. We've talked live. Good show. If you have not, preview the episode or the golf thing that was on for this week. Good episode. Oh, jeez, I can't. I cannot read and podcast at the same time. Good episode that was on the show this week. So that one of the oh my god, I am literally a dumb person. Good episode on the Birdie or Bogey show this week. I had Mikey Betts on the channel. We filmed a little par 3 video, and just a little quick one. I think under half an hour, so not a super big commitment. Definitely give it a watch. It was very fun. Shout out Mikey Betts. I obviously saw him on the channel before. Now he's premiering a golf video. Hopefully, I think he will come on the podcast again soon. Hopefully, we'll have some other special guests on the podcast very soon also. So, definitely give that a watch. That'd be super appreciated. Leave some comments. Give that a like. Same thing with this show. And that's it, people. So we will be back. When we'll time travel here for another maybe 3 hours from now. It's 6:30. Probably, maybe about 4 hours from now. We'll time travel maybe around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'll be back up here. And we will finish this. We will be reviewing House of the Dragon episode 3. We'll do a little bit of a pre-spoiler review, and then a little bit of fully spoiled what happened this episode by the end of it. I'm thinking we're going to have a little bit of a building episode. I think we had 2 just absolute haymakers episodes the last 2 weeks. I think we're going to have a little bit of an easier one this week. I think I'm going to have a little bit of a build one for some fun episodes to come for 4, 5, 6 maybe. So that's my thought right now, but we'll see in a couple hours. So I will see, and let's whoosh it off to myself. Whoosh. Welcome back. It is now 11:27 p.m. We are slightly time traveling, okay, people? We are slightly time traveling. I guess I'm time traveling. The last time I talked to you was a couple hours ago, right before the Mexico-England game, right before House of Dragon. The Mexico-England game absolutely delivered and then some. It turned out to be a fantastic game. Essentially, Mexico blew it within a span of 45, maybe to 90 seconds. There was about a period of the game where they let up 2 goals. It kind of looked like their team was arguing about letting up the 1 goal, and they let up another goal right after that within that span. So kind of crazy. They made a major comeback. They were on attack. They had a red card versus them, and they still kind of hung them off, or kept them off. England kept Mexico off. They played a good game. I was as one was rooting for Mexico. Wanted to see that them continue. I think that was just been cool in Azteca, and just North America and host to keep going. So I was rooting for that, but they would have got smoked by Norway. This way, I mean, there's a chance now it's Harry Kane versus that Holland guy. I don't know who is better, but that's gonna be a hell of a game. Someone is going home very, very disappointed, but that was a hell of a game by England and Mexico this tonight. That stadium was absolutely rocking. Really thought Mexico had a chance to. Mexico had so many shots on net. when just was not able to capitalize, either from over, missing it, just little headers that could not go in. It was not their night. The ball was not their night. That was their third loss, and I think of 70, 80 games there. So that will never go down as in history is not a good one, because they were very good in that stadium, and that was not tonight. Overall, very good game. House of Dragon is why we're doing this late, though, right? We're not doing this late for soccer. House of Dragon episode 3, and I was right. We got a build episode, okay? I don't really know how to do this episode a ton without. We'll do a little without spoilers. It definitely was a build episode. So if you're going in thinking that, hey, I watched the first two and we're going to get some Banana Land third episode where it's going to continue, we definitely take a slight step back in terms of the. There's still a lot of drama, but I would say in terms of the dragon fire, not a ton of dragon fire in this episode. A lot of talking, but what I would say is still some good talking in terms of throne. Like, in terms of House of Dragon, it was not bad. Very interesting talking. Very continued plot points with Alright, this is the point we're going to start spoiling the episode. So if you have not watched it, please go on. From this point forward, I will spoil episode 3 of House of Dragon. So if you have not watched it, these are spoiler warnings. Alert, alert, alert. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Spoiler land. Like, the whole time, it's pretty much, it deals with Rhaenyra trying to be, like, dealing with what it's like to be queen. And, like, going back and forth of having the common folk and what she's going to do with them. It starts off with I don't know, Ormond Hightower in battle. He turns over this little twin kid that is a Hightower, Alicent's like little son that was gave up potentially at birth. And then the whole episode they have him. They think Alicent's going to talk to him. Ends up, nope, fake kid. So Ormond's playing some scheme. He's definitely, which you thought in the beginning, he just bowed the knee and like went away really easy. Not at all true. He is definitely going to be doing something in this episode. In the rest of this season, he is going to be a player. He kind of, I would say, announced himself as a player going forward after that. Also, we got a good episode with the priest and Rhaenyra. The priests do not like the dragons. Priests, not a fan of the dragons whatsoever. They think their powers are like, they're all blah, 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 blah. So the priest people are not a fan of them. Rhaenyra's going to have to deal with bitching at her at some point with those priests. Some of those priests were going to burn. We'll say that. That guy was giving her lip. She's going to get mad and she's going to do some dragon fire on some of those priests. I could tell you that. So that's setting up to that. Some of those priests do not trust her ability to lead, it seems like. It does not trust her ability to use I think it really comes down to her enabling the people that have the dragon powers. They gave the dragon riders to the non-highborns, and the priests are like, oh no, these dragons are gods, and you're not giving them. So I think we're going to see some priests getting lit on fire, and see some priests burning, not in a good way. Not burning marshmallows, people. I think we're going to see Rhaenyra cooking some people for treason. So get ready for that. I think we're going to we saw her and Alicent talking a shit ton. Alicent's now as a prisoner. They were like, hey, just let me freaking go, dude. Why you got me like this? So Alicent's begging. She's kind of like, hey, leading's hard. And then she gets her period, and then it's like, that's the whole thing, too. And then she's got to drink some tea. So Rhaenyra's just having an episode. She's having to do all this stuff on her period, and then she's poor, finds out there's no more money left in the realm, that the money's all gone. The great scene where she gathers all the highborn people of it, and then it's like, you guys took all the meats and rices when everyone else didn't have anything. People were starving. Here's dinner, and then it serves them a bunch of a plate of ghoul and rats, and then steals all their shit from their houses and then gives it out to all the poor people. So that was solid. That was a solid episode right there. A solid move by Rhaenyra. Fuck those highborns. Fuck those rich. Give to the poor. She's doing her best Robin Hood impression. So trying to, she went on a little bit of PR mission. I think saw a couple artists in the back that were trying to sketch her out. Like, oh, she's doing good stuff. So that was a little bit of a PR stunt. I'll say that. But overall, good episode. Overall, I would say, it was definitely a build episode, but it kept moving. There was no point that I was bored of it. Well, I think there was multiple points that I was bored in the last season. So we did not get any boring parts of this episode. So overall, I'm going to give it a 7.2 out of 10. 72%, not, passing grade. Was nowhere near. I don't think it does not deserve a D. It's in the sevens, but not. We didn't have crazy action the whole time. We didn't have an 8 where we had some awesome dragon battles, but I think it's building. We got a good story. We got we got some stuff moving along in terms of some of the storylines with Alicent and Ormond. We got a little storyline with Rhaenyra going on, with kind of her leading in some of the pressures of that, and having to kind of look to Alicent then to kind of like, how the hell did you do this? Because I'm having a really hard time doing it. Interesting. So overall, good episode. I think the first 3 have probably been way better than any of the other 3 of last season combined. I think even this one's probably better than most episodes of last season. It ended up obviously being very boring. It seems like HBO has taken an empty checkbook and just allowed their writers and allowed some of their better filmmakers to have an access to this, where before it seemed like their B team was on this season 2, is back to the A team. So even maybe the build episodes, which were Game of Thrones, there was plenty of build episodes, but that's where the build episodes were good and good storylines, and it felt like they delivered. And this one just felt like too, right? This one felt like it was very good in terms of taking the storyline further, not really doing a lot of like killing and stuff, but a lot of the changing of guard, showing of that, and that will kind of now building to episode 4 that we'll get next week, which looks like we'll get maybe a little more Vagar action, but I would expect a little bit more of a build too, where we might see some dragon battle here though next. So that's it. 7.2 out of 10. That's our episode for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe 10 times. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe again and again and again. That means a lot to me. Appreciate everyone that watches and that listens. Hopefully, sorry about last week. Anyone was trying to look for this last week, we had some issues where I didn't see it on the back end that it wasn't able to be played. So we had a very late upload. Uploaded it a week late. So it was on Spotify though. Spotify uploads much easier. So thank you for anyone that was hanging out though. And if anyone watches that a week late, sorry about that. So that's it for today. Peace.